Antonio Hamilton of the Washington Commanders made his first start of the season in the Commanders' victory over the Giants on Sunday. He's in his 11th season in the National Football League, played his college ball at South Carolina State, had a well of a game in the victory by the Commanders over the Giants. Antonio Hamilton joins us right now here on the program. Antonio, welcome to Box to Row.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. 11, you've been with them. I believe this is your 17. Washington is your 17.
It's 10. It's 10. This year 10. Yeah. All good.
Okay, so what does, I guess the season, one season with Tampa, did that not count? That didn't count because you didn't come up to the regular squad? Is that how that works?
No, so I was only with Tampa for the training camp of the 2021 season. And then I went to Arizona following the training camp.
Got it. I got you. Okay, makes sense. So just seven teams, right? Washington being the seventh team. Just talk about the business side of this deal and hanging around and then being able to get a prime opportunity as you got on Sunday in the Commanders' victory over the Giants.
Yeah, man. Everyone isn't blessed with having the ability to choose where they want to play or how long they're going to be on a specific team. Sometimes you just have to go where you need it. And I tell guys all the time, a lot of people commentate and say, journeyman. Yeah, I'm a journeyman, but it's all about, you got to go where your job, requires you to be, and that's just one of those things. I'd rather be underrated than unemployed. I've always told myself and that come from a great poet of 2 Chainz. So I was like, man, that's a line. And it's the truth. Like, I'd rather be underrated than unemployed. So wherever, they calling and the opportunity is there for me, I'm willing to take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. What a phenomenal performance in that victory over the Giants. Just your thoughts, man. Just your thoughts on the Commanders had lost 8 straight games and got a win. You started in that game.
Yeah, man. So it's been a pretty tough season. Just as a whole, this is just kind of how the season goes in the NFL. Like when you start losing those close ones, that's when those losses they can add up. And sometimes you just got to find a way to get up out of that rut. And that just so happened to be what we did this week. We pulled together collectively on all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And even though we had a number of guys to go down, the standard is the standard. That's one of the things that we talk about here with the Commanders. And it doesn't matter who's out there on the field. We all have a job to do, and the job is to execute at a high level. And that's something that they entrusted with me to do. That's something that I've done. Even though this is my first game starting, since the 2023 season, I've been a ball player, for quite some time. And I played against a lot of really good teams and receivers. And so it was, it kind of, I guess it's cool, but it's like, that's just the standard for me. I don't think it's like something that I did that's just out of character. Like, nah, I've done that time and time again. It's just what hasn't been as highlighted kind of like as it has been this year.
Yeah, I gotta say, I expected as a South Carolina State kid that you are, I expected nothing less. It's one of those things where, us as HBCU folks don't get the recognition that we should, but when our number is called, we do our thing as you did on Sunday.
Right on, for sure.
Yeah. What made the command? Well, even before I ask about the Commanders, take us through the game. I remember the third quarter could have been a touchdown for the Giants. You knocked that ball away. A situation in the fourth quarter, you were able to knock a ball away that pretty much wrapped up the game and the victory for the Giants. Just take us through your individual performance and how well you did in that victory over the Giants.
Yeah, so we were running a specialized coverage on the first one, the one that I broke up in the end zone, where we were looking to protect the linebacker for the options that we know that we were getting on that side. And then me and myself, I have to play a little bit more aggressive on that side. So once I seen the quarterback take his eyes off and he pumped, I knew I had to get up out of there because it's for that opportunity. There's a whole potential hole in that coverage, and that's what it was, where he ran like a little double move. So once I seen the quarterback pump, I just head for the hills. And when I seen him leaning, I said, I got a chance to get him. Just I just got to keep running and get to the ball. A lot of guys panic. That's when they get penalties and stuff like that. I just knew I need to play the hands. And as soon as his hands went out, stuck my hand in just to try to, you just need to get it just a touch of that ball. And I got just a touch of it and broke it up and made a great play. And then on to the fourth quarter to help to seal the win. Like I was explaining after the game, we know that Darius Slayton is a really good receiver, but he hadn't been running those over returns. But this was a special situation, and it's almost as if they had been setting it up because I had been getting a lot of overs on the backside while I was guarding them on the as the X receiver. And so this one particularly, he ran kind of short and he set his weight down. And when he set it down, I knew what it was immediately. So when he stopped and he headed for the hills, I just made sure I got my eyes to him so I could pin and let my departure be the right angle. So as I got back to the ball, I could see the flight of the ball so I could make a play. So I was all in. I'm playing with house money. So I'm like, I'm going to make this play. And that's what happened. Quarterback threw a ball that I was able to get to, and I got it, tipped it, fourth down. Here we go. Now we got a chance to close it out. And that's one of the things I was saying in the huddle, with the defense. I'm like, hey, why not us? Why we can't, seal it? We don't have to put it on the offensive shoulders. Let's go out here and let's do it ourselves. And that's what we did.
Antonio Hamilton's in his 10th season, in the National Football League, his first with the Washington Commanders, as he joins us here on the program. What made the Commanders out of the offseason coming into this season? You mentioned it in the beginning. You've had opportunities to choose the team you want to go to a couple of times throughout the course of your time in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. What made the Commanders the right team?
Well, so this particular offseason was a rough one, honestly, because last year I came off a lot of injuries. Being an older guy in this league, I had a torn pec, torn quad, torn adductor that I fought through the entire season, and which ended up ending my season last year with the Falcons. And so my phone wasn't ringing at all. So honestly, the off season, it was very quiet for me. And I had just so happened to cultivate a relationship with the player personnel over in Baltimore with the Ravens. And they gave me an opportunity to come do a mandatory minicamp tryout back in June. Within the first 10 minutes of the practice, I strained my adductor grade 2. So I got waived. Of course I didn't, and then they didn't sign me. So it was tough for me. And again, I had to heal up. Training camp was coming around. This is my first time not being on any type of roster, at this point in time. So it was looking really, really scary for me. And it was just a difficult situation for me at that time, just not being, privy to it. And I got healed up. And around week 1, Baltimore called back again, like, hey, man, we want to bring you in, see if you're ready, because we looking like we might need an extra body. I was like, great. Got the call, came down, did great. They didn't sign me, though. And the funny thing was, I was heading back to the airport while I was still in Baltimore to get ready to fly back home. And the Commanders called. It was like, hey, we got a tryout. If you want to come do it, come, fly in. And I was like, nah, I ain't got to fly in. I'm right here in Baltimore. Y'all just rent me a car. I'll drive down. So I drove down 2 hours, got up the next day, did the workout. They liked me, kept me. And, I've been just going up ever since then. They threw me in the fire, allowed me to play in that week 2 preseason game without like 2 or 3 days really of just studying the playbook. They trusted me enough. Went out there, performed well, got in the last preseason game, performed even more, and they just built that trust and that rapport with them. And this is a great place to be. And they take care of the vets, and they believe in the vets. So it was just the perfect timing that God aligned for me, and I'm just grateful and thankful for the opportunity that was presented.
Antonio Hamilton of the Washington Commanders joins us here on the program. So let's see. Saturday, South Carolina State wins in the really the de facto national championship, right? Then you have your game on Sunday. Yeah, it's a beautiful weekend for you, man. Yeah,
broke up.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for you with South Carolina State winning. Then the game you had, of course, on Sunday. Talk about South Carolina State winning the national championship.
Yeah, man. Last week was a great week. Like I said, how it started off. My wife, she graduated from South Carolina State. She went back to school in the spring and finished up in the summer. So she started it. I flew back in, missed practice Thursday, not knowing, whether I was going to start or not in this game Sunday. Went back Thursday, missed practice, watched my wife walk across the stage. It was cool. It was a great deal. And flew back in early Friday morning, went to practice, got the nod, like, yeah, you're going to play. And I'm like, all right, cool. Watched the game Saturday, watched it all the way up to the fourth quarter. We had to fly into New York. And I didn't get to see the last score to go into overtime. So I didn't know what happened. I'm like, man, I know my boys, they were down, but then they came and fought back. But I didn't know if they even had if they scored the touchdown to, give themselves a chance to go into overtime. As soon as I landed, my wife texted me, they won. And I was like, oh, yes, thank you, God, because I've been around here talking junk. I talk crazy to everybody. Because us HBCU guys, we got a lot of pride and love for our teams. And I wear mine on my sleeve every single day. Like everybody here, they know what school I went to. And every team I've been to, they know about South Carolina State. If they don't know anything about a HBCU, they know about South Carolina State because of me. And seeing that, and then they was like, yeah, man, it was a 4 overtimes. And I was like, what? So I had to go back and watch it just so I can get caught up, so I can just, talk a little bit more junk, because me and my old teammate in Atlanta, Kadera Hodge, he went to Prairie View. So I was talking mad junk. So I'm talking crazy. So I'm like, yeah, man, come on, man. This easy work. This is what we do, man. We just had to make it a tight game, national television. We got to put on the show. But it was a beautiful thing and a great week. And then just to come back Sunday, after we have been having a pretty hard, run here over the last 8 weeks, and for me to go out there and have a pretty solid individual performance along with getting that win, it was just like you couldn't have wrote it any better. And then, so it's like, I'm gonna give a big shout out to South Carolina State, because it's like y'all started it for me with my wife, and then y'all won the national championship, and then it just gave me that extra edge. I was like, we got to go out here and get it too. We're gonna finish it off right. So that's what we did.
No doubt. I'm sure even though he went to Alabama State, it was still the swag. He probably talked a little junk to Bill.
Yep.
Bill, who went to Alabama State,
yep.
Of course. Speaking of South Carolina State, so we had your former teammate, Javon Hargrave, on the program earlier this year. We had Kobe Durant on the program. What do you remember most about those days at South Carolina State, A, and then B, the camaraderie with the three? I believe you three are the only South Carolina State guys that are in the league right now, but just the brotherhood amongst South Carolina State Bulldog players in the National Football League.
Yeah, man, I think, just as a whole, we do a great job of staying in a lot of contact with each other, even from the time before they even get in. We do our best to reach back out to the players and stuff like that, and just to be in constant communication to them, encouraging them, and things of that nature. And just big shout out to Javon, because as you know who he is, his resume speaks for himself. But just as much as I did a really good job, it was Javon that allowed and helped me to get the exposure that I needed to get, because when those NFL scouts were looking at his tape, they were seeing me along with it. And even though, I did my thing as a punt returner and kick returner, being number 1 in the nation, my junior year, they were able to see my defensive play off of his tape. And so, man, I owe a lot of, love and credit and support to him, just off of, him doing his thing along and sharing the field with him. And then Kobe coming after us, he just held it down. Like, to me, he's probably, from what I've seen and what I've known, he is the best DB to come out of South Carolina State from what I've seen, and from my youth all the way through, and even over myself. Like Kobe, he just got a knack for that ball, and he's a really good player, and he's going to play in this league for a long, long time. And I'm always expecting great things for him.
Yeah, no, it's no doubt about that. And because you came from South Carolina. He came from the state of South Carolina, playing. Playing. Oh, you know what I want to ask you? I was at the game. Okay, so what was it? So October something, 2014. You mentioned Hargrave. He had 6 sacks. No way in the world y'all should. I'm just saying. Okay, and I studied this stuff, and I was no way in the world y'all should have beat Bethune-Cookman that day. Yeah. Not that you weren't, but it wasn't. It was a down South Carolina State team, but a Bethune-Cookman team that was really, really good. He totally dominated that game. 6 sacks from the defensive tackle position.
Yep, he had 6 sacks, and I had a 92-yard punt return that game too.
Wow.
So,
I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. My bad, Antonio.
It's all good. But that's like I said, they speak a hard grade, but when they turn on the tape, they saw me too. And that's why I always give a lot of love and credit to Javon because, him being who he was and doing it like he did, it allowed other guys to have, the ability to be seen too. And that's one of the things that I can love and appreciate about, sharing the field with those guys because they get a lot of the credit and glory and fame just off their individual performance, but it puts a lot of other guys on the radar as well. So like I'm sure they don't necessarily like they don't look at it like, yeah man, a lot of people owe me a lot of credit, like nah, but it's like those guys like Darius Leonard as well, like man, those guys that just had those great individual performances as a defensive players. It allowed other guys to be seen. And so it's just that brotherhood, man. And it's just one of the things that I love about, South Carolina State, and especially on the defensive side. Because like you said, we struggled as a team, but defensively, we were like the number one defense ranked in the nation for quite some time because we were balling and because Javon was just going crazy. And we just needed a little bit more help on offense, and we could have been even more better. And I think we could have had us another MEAC championship and probably played down in that Celebration Bowl. But it was what it was.
Yeah, true. Because before you came, the offense was pretty prolific. After you left, it picked back up. But yeah. I guess that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Couple more thoughts. Thoughts on the Eagles. Your thoughts on the Eagles and the challenges that Philadelphia presents.
Yeah, man, we know that they're a really great team. Very stout up front on both sides of the ball. They have very good skilled players on the outside and in the running back position. Obviously, Saquon Barkley being one of the best. Former teammate of mine from back when I played with the Giants, so I always call him the creative player because he just does very spectacular things. He has a really special set of skills, and Jalen Hurts a really good quarterback too. So we're always up for the challenge, man, and that's one of the things that I love about being in the NFL. That it's a dog-eat-dog league. Anybody can get beat on any given Sunday, and then it's about who's going to execute at the highest level. One thing that we always do, we play really hard. We pride ourselves on being fast and being physical, and we're going to outplay everybody. But we always know that the extra part that we also have to focus on is just executing, double downing on the execution part. And when we do that, we go out and have a performance like we did versus the Giants, and we go out and and put together a great clip for not only for the team, but to give the fans something to root for too.
Yeah, I got to go back to something you said. So and Durant is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. You're putting Durant over Phillip Adams, over Raphael Bush, also over yourself too.
Yeah, so like I said, it was based upon what I seen. Those guys I didn't see at South Carolina State. I didn't see any of those guys. When I came in, it was like my brother. Like that was back in 2012 when he came in. Like I don't compare him to safeties. I'm just talking about cornerbacks. Man, Kobe is a beast. Like his stats, and just his consistent play. Like, and even to now, it transitioned over into the NFL. It's not like, oh man, he was just a great, cornerback in college, and then he just kind of like disappeared. Like, nah. And even with myself, like I was a really good cornerback, but my stats wasn't wowing you. Like I was just a shutdown corner. That's what it was. I got a lot of PBUs. I didn't have a lot of interceptions. He had a lot of PBUs and a lot of interceptions. I wasn't getting a ton of targets. Then even when I got to the NFL, it's just kind of like the same thing. I don't get a lot of interceptions. I get PBUs. But he get interceptions after interceptions after interceptions. He always got the ball in his hand, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. And it's like, man, you gotta remove yourself from the picture, man. I believe in being very humble. I never like to put myself in front of anybody. If anybody want to put me out there, cool. Like I don't care. Like I'd rather be in the back. I don't mind being in the back. Like, and that's just always been my thing. But I like to give flowers and give credit and love when it's due, and he deserved his straight up.
No, he is great. I'm just wondering. He's great. I'm not. I just wanted to be sure. Anyway, Antonio Hamilton. He's a 10-year veteran in the National Football League. He joins us right here on the program of the Washington Commanders, who will be at home on Saturday in prime time, hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, Antonio played his collegiate ball at South Carolina State. Antonio, appreciate your candor, man. This was great. Continued success to you and the Commanders.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and you have a God bless one.